One thing about them, they've shown up every day this spring, and they work, and that's going to give us a chance, And obviously up front, you've got to have relationships, working relationships with each other, and just as many reps as we can take. We need, and we're trying to provide those opportunities for them right now. But they have definitely quite a bit different. We just finished number 14. From day one to number 14, there's been quite a few improvements and just meshing together. So
we've seen a lot of continuity between how you guys have split them up. Was that just because you guys want that to build sort of that cohesiveness within each group, or is that just how it's shaken out in terms of who is performing?
Yeah, well, a little bit of both, and I've moved guys from right to left and forward and backwards, and just trying to find. It's not necessarily every time maybe physically who your best five guys are. It's the five guys that can work best together and get communicated and get on the same page and just development like that. Now I'm excited about all of these guys because they are using every opportunity to get better at their craft, which is what it takes. There's no days off anymore, and we know that. And the extra time that they've put in, and obviously getting to know each other, getting to know me getting to know them. That's been hugely beneficial in our progress.
Were you guys talking about Gio about playing center as soon as those conversations were started in the portal?
Yes, because just watching his film, he played guard, and all my guards, minus maybe two or three of them here, can play center, and then all my centers can play guard. But he's kind of athletic, and he plays with great pad level. Now the thing that he's adjusted to is the communication piece because he's our quarterback up front. He makes every call, gets us all on the same page, and if he gets us on different pages, it's not a good play. So, but it's a love-hate relationship. Sometimes I love him, sometimes I hate him, but he knows that.
He's also got a lot. You say the communication piece, but also just there are some subtle differences between the way that they play up here, the way you guys play down here, and then what he's seeing from defenses and having to analyze that. Is there something that he has that has allowed him to pick up on that?
Well, he's vocal. I mean, he's got a lot of confidence, and if you don't have confidence, you're never going to be physical. You're never going to, have any swag about you. But he's very confident in himself, which that's what it takes. And now, the more you know, the more confidence you build. And now he's got an added piece to that. He's got to communicate what he knows and to everybody else, and he's got to say it with an exclamation point, not a question mark. So everybody else up there and on the offense up there in the trenches has to, okay, he's right, let's go. And that's where he's came the farthest here probably in the last 4 practices. It's just that improvement, that understanding. In our defense, we see everything. So, and just got to get us, constantly. I mean, we're asking him to, he's reading safeties, he's reading the perimeter, he's reading in the box, he's got everything. He's got to get it communicated to everybody up front, And it's a collaborative effort up there. Tackles should be helping him too. And just that trust and that bond is how you get good and how you improve. So
Joey Tanona's a guy that the last staff was like, hey, he was a highly touted prospect in high school. He's been away from football. We'll take a chance on him. And if he develops, it's a win. What have you seen from him where he maybe starts to show a little bit of why he was a highly touted prospect?
You definitely can see it. And I think, there was a little rust, obviously, for setting out. And just credit to him, what he's done to come back is unbelievable. And he has had, I don't think just a good spring. He's had a great spring because he brings effort. He's got quite a bit of physicality to him. You can definitely see it's in there. And just continue to improve and adjust to a new system on top of all that. But he's been one of my not a surprise, but yeah, I'm glad he's here. I really am. And he's kind of a quiet leader, but he's probably one of the most accountable guys we got up front. So.
Did he show you guys that ability to do what he has to do in space right away? Did you see that?
He does. He just understands it. He's we're working on a couple of little technique things here and there. But I mean, it's inside of him, that chip on the shoulder, that no one's going to beat me attitude. That's what you got to have, and he brings it every single rep. I know, he's going to go to the whistle. I know that. I never have to worry about that with him, but just like I said, continue to improve, just adjusting to the system more than anything and getting his feet back on the ground. I mean, it's a hell of a story, man. But he stepped right in, and everybody in the room knows who he is. What he brings and how he can help this offense.
So Ethan Trent get put on scholarship
Yeah.
yesterday. Just what's that moment kind of mean to you as a coach, and what have you seen from him this year?
Well, those things are kind of why you do what you do, And we didn't give him a scholarship; he earned it. I mean, and I know it was a goal just from pre-spring, meetings and stuff. I knew it was a goal of his, and he dared anybody stand in his way. And obviously, he provides a lot of depth up there because he understands what we're doing. He can play probably 3 spots up inside, and just for him to have that, I mean, that's why you coach. And somebody said, well, we gave you. And I said, no, we didn't. He earned it. And it was so cut and dry, it was unbelievable. And that's credit to him and his work ethic every day. I mean, he's in that building constantly. And, he's Purdue. That's what he is.
What does Bakeem Coley bring?
He's athletic, big, can move, can run, great effort guy. Now, he's so athletic, we got control feet sometimes because he would like to just start galloping around a little bit. But, the only thing Bakeem needs is snaps. Just more looks. But he's had a very productive spring, and I'm more than excited to see where this goes with him because he's got everything you look for when you're on this side of the ball or of the situation. You're trying to go recruit guys. You need guys like him because he's so athletic and with that size, and he's smart. He's one of the top GPAs in there right now, and he does everything right. I say, well, now let's get better at it.
What was the value of bringing Jalen St. John with you?
Well, one of the hidden values is he'd been with me for 2 years, and with Coach Odom, he knew exactly what was in front of us. Well, some of those other guys would lean on him. Hey, what we're doing today? What's this like? That's value. It's almost instant leadership. And he played tackle for me at the last place. He is a guard, and he has improved every day. I mean, he is a little bit ahead of where I thought he would be when he got here. And I think I know everything about him. And but he's grown up now. He's a grown up, and he's focused. He's got some goals that he wants to go get, and he wants to do it here. And I'm very appreciative for that. But he's kind of the leader of the group right now. But he understands to be that guy, you got to do it every day. And he's definitely done that. And super excited for the remainder of this semester into the summer and fall camp and where he can get to. So,
what was the most important thing he had to accomplish this spring to make this transition from bumping back inside?
Well, a little bit of it just adjusting to a new spot. That's not easy, and sometimes we'll spend 18 hours a day in that building as a staff just to keep our room simple because you've got to be able to, you cannot be physical. You can't move if you don't understand exactly what we're doing or trying to do. And that was his adjustment was obviously it's all new terminology, doing the same things here and there, doing some different things, which I'm very excited about. But just that adjustment was probably the biggest thing. But, through practice 6, 7, 8, you can see it starting to click. And, him and Joey, I've left them beside each other quite a bit this spring. And just watching that bond build and flourish a little bit. But he is, he's in it, and I know the reasons he's in this for, and it's fun to watch him and help him go attain what he's after.
How's your depth?
How?
Your depth.
Well, the depth. We've got 20 guys out here right now, and the thing about when you teach scheme, and I was very guilty a long 100 years ago when I did this. I just memorized what I did. But now we teach everything to everybody. So depth, if everybody understands and can play multiple positions, I can be 3 deep with 7 or 8 guys. Now we've got, first group, second group, third group. They have all, and we've even got a 4th group. Every single one of them has gotten better. And I mean, there's obviously differences with age and, where they are in their physical maturity and different things like that, just because how long they haven't been here. But these guys are working every day, and you start to see it, when somebody that does understand it starts helping the guys maybe at his same position, well, they're in it for the team, and just watching those guys coach each other a little bit when they can, and they meet together. I mean, we do everything together. We eat breakfast every morning together, and we don't eat till everybody's there, and just building that bond, and it creates depth. I couldn't tell you. I've never named a depth chart after spring because they'll liable to take the summer off, but I got to keep them hungry somehow. But they're working, and we've got some guys. We've got some guys that we're very, very excited about, and I'd love to have 10 or 15 that it doesn't matter who's out there, but that's never the case anywhere. But we're getting some depth. We're building it day to day. So.
20 seems like a healthy number. Do you anticipate adding through the portal here when it opens?
Well, I mean, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if anybody does. There's obviously the portal changes every 30 minutes, and I like to develop young guys and keep them together because that's how you get good when you play next to the same guys for an extended period of time. But if you lose old guys or need old guys, you got to go get them, that's been in battles before and bring a little bit of experience in on the field, situations. But, we if you don't recruit, you're not going to be anywhere very long. So we obviously stay on top of all of that. So.
Anything else?
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thanks a lot.